seeing with new eyes, even in the dark. Let's go get lost. Just take my hand, ignore the cost, forget the plan. I feel the hours ticking down. Wish I could turn it all around, but in my mind I'm frozen perfectly in time. Can we turn back the night and stay in the streets while we feel? Can we turn back the night and stay in the streets while we feel? Can we turn back the night? Feels like I'm caught up in a trance.
Hey all, and welcome to a new format on my channel, following me on my road to glory as I learn how to play Ultimate Champion. Today I'm joined by Johnny, an OG of the Ultimate Champion game. Johnny is here to help us give us newbies any tips and tricks we might need to get started with the game. So welcome, Johnny. How long have you been playing Ultimate Champion?
So I joined during the alpha phase, which was just kind of a testing phase, probably about 2 weeks before it launched officially, which was just over a year, kind of last April. And yeah, I've been playing it ever since. I love it. Always in a difficult. It's good fun.
It is, yeah, fab stuff. So I would say, coming from the FPL world, so that's the Fantasy Premier League world, that in the short time I've been playing the game, and it has been a tiny amount of time, I describe it as kind of FIFA Ultimate Team meets FPL. Would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, there's definitely kind of a lot of similarities there. With FIFA Ultimate Team, it's more kind of the pack side of things and selecting the players, and obviously it's a fantasy platform, so got a lot of similarities to FPL. But kind of unlike FPL, where you're kind of limited to your squad and like one transfer a week, you kind of your collection can get as big as you want on Ultimate Champion, so you can go out and buy whichever players you need for that game week. So you're not kind of restricted in that aspect, and there's multiple tournaments to enter as well. So and obviously we've only got one Premier League team on Ultimate Champions at the moment, which is Arsenal, but hopefully we'll get another soon. And there's obviously all the other leagues like EFL and the new summer leagues, which are all really cool. But yeah, on the whole, it's pretty similar because it's fantasy football at the end of the day.
Yeah, players equal points, pretty much.
The scoring matrix is quite a lot of difference. I know,
yes.
Like on FPL, you kind of prioritize like wing backs and wingers,
attacking players. Yeah, pretty much.
On Ultimate Champions, it tends to be kind of the centre backs and the centre mids that score better, just with the kind of possessive stats, and there's a whole matrix which takes into account like their whole performance, really.
That's amazing. That's a good tip. So instead of going necessarily all in on the attacking players, think about those kind of central players in Ultimate Champion. That's a great tip. See, this is why we get the OGs on. Right, okay. Let's move on to the how to play page on the Ultimate Champions website. And you guys can pull this up to learn as well if you need to. We'll be adding any tips, so if you have any questions, feel free to stick them in the chat, but hopefully this will be helpful along the way. So if we wanted to get started with us today, you'll need to sign up. The link is in the description below. Thank you so much. We have a new subscriber. Just give them a quick shout out. Hey, buddy. I'm going to call you HK because I know I will absolutely kill that name. But yes, if you wanted to sign up and play Ultimate Champion, you can do so for free, and the link is in the description below. And you then need to draft a starting team. So Johnny, Can you talk us through how the initial draft works, please?
Yes, so you get an initial budget, kind of like FPL, and you've got to pick one goalkeeper, four defenders, four mids, and two forwards. I think that they've brought it in so you can only pick a maximum of four players per club. And my kind of advice would be to get a few kind of cheap players that are kind of the lowest budget, the lowest cost possible, so that you can get some star players in, because this is kind of the only chance where you can select your commons. So the likes of kind of Douglas Aurelio, who is unreal at Riga, he's scores that we've never seen before. If you're not wanting to spend any money, it's kind of the best chance you've got at picking him early on. And because there's the early objectives, just I think for drafting your team and entering your first game week, you get kind of MGC and more common players down the line, which you can use to kind of fill out your squad. But yeah, so I'd definitely try and maybe get like a star forward, a star midfielder, and a star defender when you're drafting. And yeah, just do your research as well before you do it, because yeah, the prices are kind of based on past performances. So obviously the better players will be more, but definitely worth putting your research in to make sure you kind of get off to a strong start with your draft.
Yeah, so I kind of didn't really. I did, but I didn't. I had heard that it was mostly summer tournaments, and so I kind of I went all in on kind of the Austrian league players, and I was going to the Emirates, so I got in a couple of Arsenal players as well, which did me good last game week, but before that, not so great. But if we were to draft players and people signing up at this point in the season, I guess they'd be looking at a different setup in their team than what they would do if they joined during the winter, right? So what would your kind of tips be around joining right now?
So yeah, if you're joining right now, I'd recommend kind of just picking summer players, to be honest, because otherwise you're not going to get any use with your players for kind of the next 6 to 8 weeks, or however long till the new league the new season starts up again. And kind of with these players, it's not like the summer leagues just finish as soon as the winter leagues start up again. So you'll still be able to earn rewards when the winter leagues start again, and you'll be able to kind of get those rewards and get those winter league players down the line. But I think, yeah, it's definitely worth getting the summer league players in just so you can kind of get your journey started over summer.
Yeah, absolutely. And welcome, Civilized Gunner, to the NIM fam. I'll be giving him a bit of a shout out later. All right, these player cards, are they licensed by individual clubs and FAs at all?
So kind of Ultimate Champions have kind of different agreements. So like Romania, they've got the whole league, and obviously the new summer leagues, we've got the whole leagues. But I think like the Arsenal and the EFL clubs, I think are kind of licensed just with the club. But yeah, I don't know officially.
A bit of a mix. Cool. So once you have your team and you're all set up, the best thing to do is get entered into one of the free tournaments, and this will earn you points, and points become MGCs, so free coins effectively, that you can spend on packs that will allow you to beef out your squad effectively. But what are the other game modes available?
So yeah, there's two kind of main game modes. There's the league and then the tournaments. So yeah, the league is the kind of main free to play mode, and it's got like your thresholds. So you're not kind of competing with other players so much. It's just if you can reach that points threshold, then you can get them rewards, and it's a great way of kind of getting commons every week and MGC, as you said, which you can then use for packs. But the kind of main game mode is tournaments, because there's probably about 15 tournaments per week when you kind of include the divisions. So the main two are global and under 23s. Global, anyone, like you can enter any player, and under 23s, they had to be 23 or under at the start of the season, which is the 1st of August. And yeah, they're kind of where you're going to get the better rewards, but it's where you kind of do need a bit of investment, or you need to have played a bit to kind of build up your collection, because the lowest division, which is the first one you kind of enter, is amateur, and you need one epic to enter that. So you can either try and earn it through MGC, you can open a basic plus pack or a jumbo pack, and if you're lucky, you'll get an epic, or you can buy one straight off the market for as little as $3 at the moment. And yeah, you can get some great rewards, and there's quite a clear kind of path to progress at the divisions and eventually get to kind of pro veterans or legends, if your collection gets there. And one other thing is you can use each player once in the league and once in tournaments. So if you've kind of just got one main squad, you can submit that in the league, also enter it in kind of a global beginner or something.
So where I kind of bought Odegaard at the start and then unpacked him as a common card, he could go into another tournament, right? That second card.
Yeah, of course. So, if you were entering kind of beginner and pro, you could use the common and beginner, and the epic and pro, or however you kind of decide to build your teams.
Okay, welcome Roro to the NIM fam. Whilst we are here and we're discussing this bit, what is the difference for those of us a little bit kind of let's say tech phobe on this staff? What's the difference between the champ tokens and the MGC tokens, and how do you redeem them?
So MGC is kind of purely in game. You can use it to buy packs in the pack store, but they're mainly kind of common packs, and you do have a slight chance of getting epics, but that's mainly just to kind of build up your collection. And champ is like kind of a crypto token. I think Unagi's it's their just currency, and you can kind of sell it and withdraw real money, or you can buy it straight on the platform, and that's what's used to kind of buy the more premium packs, which will get you the epics or the mythics or even a unique if you're lucky. And also that's kind of what you use to buy and sell cards off the market. So you can earn champ through tournaments and then use it to kind of buy some more players off the marketplace. And then you can also sell your players on the marketplace to get some champ and withdraw it if that's what you wanted to do.
That's what you want to do. Great. So you said there's a few different leagues going on. How would new players like myself know where to start beyond just entering a normal league? And how can I learn which are the best teams and the best players to go for out? Because I'm so FPL orientated, my only real experience outside of the Premier League is maybe the World Cup. So for me, I am literally starting from scratch, and I have no clue where to go to find out like which leagues would be the best for me to focus on, and which teams and players would be the best for me to focus
on. It's kind of a tricky one on where to kind of prioritize, but you can use UC Helper, which is a kind of great website. It has kind of all the top scorers, and it has player prices, so that's a great website for kind of helping decide which players you want to buy, and also making sure you don't overpay for them. And also even just kind of checking like player profiles on the website, you can see all of their past scores, and it's got like the upcoming fixtures and stuff like that. And even just kind of if you don't really know where to start, you could just go on the marketplace, put some filters in for the scores, and just have a look at the kind of top end players and see see kind of which you might be interested in buying. And you can always I'd definitely recommend joining the Ultimate Champions Discord, because there's always helpful people in there, and people are more than happy to give advice on players and where to target. But you kind of want to be buying, as I said before, probably centre backs and centre mids, because they're a lot more consistent. And I mean, if they play for kind of a top team in their league, then you want to prioritise that, because with the club actions kind of aspect of the scoring matrix, it does make quite a difference. If your team wins 5-0, you're going to get a lot of club action points for that. So
Okay. Interesting. That's good. And Ultimate Champion's really good. So when you first sign up, you get these like on-board objectives that like completing your initial squad, modifying your team, opening a pack, and completing a game week. You get, you know, these rewards as you go along, which kind of help get you going, don't they? And I guess this is where having, as you say, these starting players to get you the most points are really helpful. What would be your strategy at this point regarding common cards and what packs to go with, both if you wanted just to play for free and not invest anything, but also if you wanted to invest a little bit of cash just to get yourself going? Remember though, people, only invest what you can afford. It is not big and it is not clever to do anything else at all. But yeah, Johnny, where would you start if you wanted to be kind of just keeping it free? And if you just wanted to invest a little bit to get going?
Yeah, so first of all, I mean, that's great advice. Definitely don't spend what you can't afford. But if you're playing free, as I said, if you've not done your draft yet, I'd definitely recommend trying to get a few star players in there. And then you probably want to go for the basic plus packs because they don't cost a whole lot of MGC. I think they're about 299.
Yep.
But you've got a small chance of getting an epic in there, but also you get, I think, 3 commons. So it's just a good way of kind of building up your collection. And if you kind of want to maybe hold out for a jumbo pack, that's where you get kind of a better odds of getting an epic. And I think the jumbo packs tend to be a bit more specific at times with some of the drops. But if you're wanting to invest a little bit, I mean, I'd definitely look at the marketplace. There's some really good value cards at the moment, like some of the top kind of Winter League players for last season. You can get them for $5-10 on the market at the moment. So it's definitely, yeah, if you're going to invest, I'd definitely prioritize the marketplace because that's just where you can make sure you've got, as well, especially if you've got some star commons and you may be lacking in goalkeeper or you've only got a couple of good defenders, you can actually make sure you buy what you need and make sure you've got like a decent competitive team to enter. And then I'd just start kind of working your way through probably the global tournaments, enter beginner. And if you can get a few more epics, try and progress up to amateur I think it's amateur, then beginner, and then eventually pro. And yeah, there's some great rewards on offer, even as free to play.
Yeah, cool. Well, let's move on then to the pretty cards, as I call them, the epics, the mystics, and the rares. We've touched upon them there, but Johnny, how do people go about getting these better cards in the packs, I guess? But what do they really mean to you owning them overall, other than your squad looking pretty amazing? Do we get extra points for having these particular cards?
Yeah, so when you enter the tournaments, you get kind of a rarity bonus. These don't apply in the leagues, but an epic will give you plus 25%. A mythic is plus 50%, and a unique is plus 100%. So they definitely do make a difference. They can be, I mean, sometimes you're 4 or 5 points off winning. So if you had an extra mythic, that could make all the difference. And yeah, the best way to get these is from the marketplace. But as you said, you can get them from packs and you can also get them from rewards. And these are the ones which you can actually buy and sell on the marketplace. Whereas commons, they're untradeable, so they just sit in your collection. For epics, there can be up to 300 epics minted of each player per season, and then up to 30 mythics per season per player, and obviously just 1 unique. But currently the numbers are much lower than that, but there's kind of that scarcity there. And another big benefit of especially the kind of higher rarity cards is that all my champions have started doing the airdrops. I don't know if you've heard much of that, but
No, this is new to me.
very well. Iceland should be dropping in a couple of weeks, and basically, if you have your collection score, which kind of epics are worth 10, mythics are worth 100, and uniques are worth 3,000. Yeah, your collection has a collection score, and if you have over 100, then you kind of get entered into a draw, and they'll give away free cards. Basically, I think in the past it's been 1 unique, 40 mythics, and 400 epics. I want to say maybe
Oh,
200.
nice.
So basically, yeah, if you've got quite a big collection, then you have a better chance at getting some free cards. So yeah, there's a lot of benefits to having some of these pretty cards as a
As I call them. Is there like a UC name for them as a collective? Do you have like a kind of a shortened name for them, or do you literally just call them as they are?
Yeah, I mean, we just call them epics, mythics, or uniques. But yeah, these are your kind of NFTs, so you can trade them. But you can think of it as just like trading cards of match attacks or something like that. It's just quite a similar concept, really.
Brilliant. So that is the other benefit then to having these pretty cards, is that you can also sell them if you want to.
Yeah, so again, you can use UC Helper to kind of check their value, and you can see all the past sales for them. And then yeah, you can easily list them. You can well, and then if they sell, you can either reinvest it into other players or withdraw the money. Um,
Cool. And are there any like tools available to help managers play and trade like we have, like with FPL? We have like 3 main websites to say that you can go to, like for stats and stuff like that. Is there anything outside of the Discord channel and what we've already mentioned that you would say would be helpful to people?
so currently, yeah, UC Help is kind of great for working out how good players are and player values. But there's also Play Sharper, which has all of the lineups, so that's a great place to go. And you can just they've even added a feature now where you can kind of link it to your profile, so you can just have a look at the matches of players that you own. So yeah, I think they're the kind of main two currently. And other than that, just you can get in the Discord and ask any questions if needed, or just yeah, I don't know, have a look at stats on Sofa Score. Like even player averages is a pretty good indication of how well they score.
Great, that's a good
Yeah.
tip. And so with FPL, we have like a top 100, 200k kind of overall ranking that people consider good for the end of the season. Does Ultimate Champions have anything like this? Is there like, besides the tournaments, do you have like, I guess, an overall ranking of your top players?
Yeah, so there's as part of the leagues, there's a season leaderboard. So every week or every game week, with your league score gets added to your total, and there's some amazing prizes. I think first gets 2 uniques, I think, and second and third get a unique as well. And I think it's maybe up to the top 500 get rewards. So it's obviously going to be pretty difficult for new players to achieve, well, to get any rewards from that, because they'll have obviously missed a lot of game weeks. But next season, the new season starts on the 1st of August, so it's a great chance to kind of get involved and hopefully win some awesome prizes. If you can catch up with Elias Gunner, he's quite far ahead.
So would you, as somebody like myself who maybe wanted to compete in that leaderboard, would you spend this summer getting to know the game and not really entering any tournaments, that sort of thing, and then hit it in August?
I mean, it's still worth entering because you can still get the weekly rewards, such as kind of your commons and your MGC. So I definitely, yeah, I wouldn't worry about the season leaderboards for this year, but it's probably better to get involved now, just kind of get used to the platform, the scoring matrix, what kind of players, yeah, score well, and then it will kind of put you in quite a good place for the new season. And also, yeah, if the earlier you start playing, the more your collection will build up, and then you'll have more options for the new season to try and kind of cement your place in the season leaderboard.
Fabulous. Okay, with that, I'll just pull up my team so you guys can have a look where I am at. And this is my common collection, I guess. A few of these will be players that I chose in my first draft, and a few of them are from packs that I've opened with the MGCs that I have earned through the points that I've gathered. So far, I haven't invested anything monetary wise into this team. So as you'll see, it is all common cards. The mythics, the rares, and the uniques will have different color backgrounds, so you'll know the difference. All the common cards are white, and the colors underneath are the points they've scored, and it's like a bit of a traffic light system basically. If they've got green, they've done well. If they got red, they haven't done very well at all. So as you can see, a bit of my team has been battered this particular week, but I have got a couple of greens there holding me up, and I have been able to earn myself a reward from my points this week, which means I'll be able to open another common card and get some more GCs out of it. But I was just wondering, Johnny, would you continue on that tactic for myself, or would you say, like, I'm likely going to invest a little bit because I want to make content around the game, so I'm going to invest a little bit probably and get some champ coin. So you'd say, just based on what we've talked about today, that I either invest enough to get a good pack off of the market, or go to the marketplace and choose a couple of players, right?
Yeah, so I'd probably say, if depending on how much you're going to put in, if you kind of, even if you put in $25 or so in, I'd probably recommend, well, there's a starter pack actually, I think, so that's probably a good way to get started. And then I think you can get a free epic from your referral if you signed up via a referral. But I think the marketplace is really kind of your best bet to kind of building up your team, because even $25 you could probably buy three, well, this is more kind of winter players, you could buy like 3 or 4 pretty decent epics, and it would just kind of allow you to enter into the tournaments, and that's where you can really start kind of making a bit more progress. Because I think, well, leagues, it's definitely doable with free to play, but you just have to keep at it until you can kind of build up your collection and get probably get lucky in a pack and get an epic, really. Yeah, or if you can get top 20 in the league.
Yeah, it's good though, because I feel like I haven't been in a rush to kind of, like, as much as it's like nice to have the pretty cards, I'm not in a major rush to have them yet. I'm quite happy. I'm not really, I think after quite a long and, let's say, arduous FPL season, I'm quite happy just to be collecting my MGCs and getting my common cards, and, as you say, investing those into the basic packs at the moment, whilst I just learn the game and understand it a little bit better before kind of maybe jumping into some of these leagues and having all these pretty cards and not really understanding it so well. So yeah, it's been a good little kind of learning curve, I guess, just going the kind of free common route at the moment.
Yeah, I definitely think it's worth just having a go at the league first, as you say, just kind of learning more about the platform and getting used to the scoring matrix and things like that. And yeah, it's definitely
and
worth.
The players, I guess, because if you have a couple of players in your team that you've gained in a common that are suddenly doing quite well in your team each week, then you can go to the marketplace and see if you can maybe find a little bit of a deal on that particular player to buy in, which is quite exciting.
Yeah, definitely. And even just your kind of common collection will start to form quite nicely, and then you can just use the market to kind of fill any gaps that's needed. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me, Johnny. Were there any other tips and tricks you can think of that we might have missed? I think we covered everything.
I think we have definitely covered everything. I'd definitely recommend using the marketplace over packs generally if you're going to start kind of building your initial collection, if you are going to invest any money in. I would also say you can watch Latvia and Norway games for free on 11 Sport, and you can also watch the Finnish games for free on OneFootball. So over summer, it's quite nice to kind of learn about these.
And how regularly do they play, and for the UK users, what sort of days on the week would you catch those?
It's kind of a variety. So quite a few of them have been playing midweek recently, but it's kind of varies. It's normally, I think, 3 p.m. kickoffs and 5 p.m. kickoffs midweek, but then also most weekends there'll be games on. So it's a great way of, I think the summer leagues are actually more accessible to watch in the UK than the winter leagues are. But I've been watching, I think, more Latvian games than.
Isn't it mad what these games do to us? I mean, it's like me when I started out in FPL. I'd never watch, I don't know, who was in the League Cup back then, maybe Norwich and somebody. I just would never be interested, but all of a sudden you're there hooked, waiting to see if Pookie scores a goal or something. So yeah, it's great that they suck you in like that. And it's great because, as you say, watching them, I guess, gives you that extra buzz to see if your player's going to do well. So it's nice to know that they're accessible in this country and that people can watch them for free, which is good.
And especially kind of if it's towards the end of the game week and you're towards the top of the leaderboard, you're watching every pass. Because it's a bit more of an in-depth scoring matrix than FPL. Every pass, every tackle, you're just there kind of like, oh, that could be the difference.
Amazing.
Fun, but it can be stressful.
I'm looking forward to it, I think. I've learned so much today, so thank you so much. I really hope we've helped some other people out there who are considering giving Ultimate Champion a go. Please feel free to check out Johnny's Twitter page at UC_Johnny. The link will be in the description below if you fancy giving him a follow and finding the Ultimate Champions website to give it a try as well. Then just follow that all in the description below. And please do like and subscribe if this has been helpful to you. And just before I go, I want to give a shout out to Civilized Gunner for helping out with the structure of the stream, because I'm completely new to this game. I had no idea where I should go with the questions and things, so he's been really, really helpful. So do go and give him a follow on Twitter as well. So thanks again, buddy, for that. I know you're watching the stream. So thanks again, Johnny. Until next time, guys, we'll be doing more of these streams and hopefully getting some of the people from the community on where they can talk through their teams, which I think would be really helpful, right, Johnny, to see, like your own team, for instance, up on screen and you can describe it and things.
Yeah, definitely. And then kind of we can explain kind of our reasoning behind it. And it should be useful. And it's just pretty cool to see everyone's different teams.
Definitely. Brilliant. Wow, it's a plan. Okay then, guys. So do drop a notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. Until next time, Nymphria out.
Feels like I'm caught up in a trance. Can't come down all night. The city never stood a chance. With you by my side, it's all ours. So don't second guess. Let down your guard. Just take a chance. I feel the hours ticking down. Wish I could turn it all around, but in my mind we're frozen perfectly.